Hello and welcome to yet another episode of What to Pick. In this video series I go over a few different starting hands and explain what I would pick and why. And in today's first starting hand we have a decision between Cheung Mars and Inventrix. And let's go with Cheung Mars first because it's one of the better corps in the game. These preludes do not fill me with joy, I have to admit. Power generation is pretty good often. And yeah, the other ones, I mean, you draw 3 cards with Biolab, but the plant prod is not pretty good if you don't have anything else for it. You could go Biolab and Biofuels for 2 plant prod, but Biofuels is also not that strong if you can't combo it with anything else. Maybe with placement bonus or something. But let's go with that for now. Let's see what we have on hand here first. Okay, we have some ocean card here for placement bonus. Ooh, we have protected tabs. Okay, that makes the plant prod immediately much better. Let's look at the rest of the hand. We have carbonate processing here, which is pretty nice if we have a power prod. We have Immigrant City. Also pretty nice if we have power prod left over. Look at this again. I definitely want to go with biofuels if we have protected tabs. Sadly, we are last, so these two plants are at risk of getting nuked immediately. But I think we have to live with that. And maybe we need more power prod. I'd like to pick up Biolab because this gives us more plant prod. And with protected tabs, that's actually pretty nice. 2 plant prod and 2 plants immediately. We have 1 power prod to play carbonate processing. We can combo that with import of advanced GHG even. For 5 heat prod, that's pretty nice. We can play protected tabs. We have Immigrant City and we have industrial microbes to play Immigrant City. I'd definitely pick up Convoy from Europa. And now the question is which corp? We're playing on Tharsis, so planners in the game. And with Inventrix we draw 3 cards and with Biolab we draw 3 more. Also, it looks like we're going for a plant strategy, ground game, with Immigrant City, 2 plant prod and protected tabs. And Inventrix is quite good for that because you can play these plant producing cards earlier. So Convoy from Europa, I'd even pick up Noctis Farming because we can play this earlier. It gives us plants, that's pretty nice. Industrial Microbes, Immigrant City, and these 3 cards. We would be left with 24 cash then. We can play this for 15, 21. So these 3 cards in the first gen to have 5 heat prod, 2 plant prod, and we have protected tabs down. And then second gen we can play Industrial Microbes and Immigrant City if we have enough cash for that. Probably we don't have enough cash for that. We can also just play Convoy from Europa in the second gen. And then play the city later. Convoy from Europa to secure planner maybe. But I'd actually pick up plans with that, not the cards. I think getting planner is pretty easy with this setup. We have 7 cards plus 3, that's 10 plus 3, that's 13. So if you want to be super safe about planner, you go with Inventrix. Also that helps with the ground game. And if you want to have a better economy and some discounts on these building tags that we pick up, because we pick up, you can pick up Noctis Farming with Cheung Mars as well, because we have some heat prod. So we have 1 card with discount, 2 cards with discount, 3 cards with discount, and 4 with discounts. So you save 8 on these initial starting cards, and also you have 3 cash prod. So I think both are viable, and I think these are the cards I'd like to keep. Play protected tabs immediately, and you're pretty good for a ground game with this setup. And you can push oxygen and heat with these cards. And I think that's pretty nice. So let's get to the second hand. Alright, the second hand is a decision between Ecoline and Robinson Industries. I really don't like Robinson Industries. I think they're pretty boring. So let's pick Ecoline for now. These are pretty good preludes for Ecoline, I have to say. We're playing on Hellas. I think I'd go with Great Aquifer and Self-Sufficient Settlement. I wouldn't put the Self-Sufficient Settlement down here necessarily. The ocean is quite nice, but with Ecoline, you really want to place greeneries early on. And if you put our city down here, then we are restricted to putting these greeneries down here. And that's a pretty shitty spot. If we get, let's see. Let's take these two preludes. Greenhouses, mineral deposit is pretty good. We can think about flooding, but we have two oceans already. And we have no ocean paybacks. Pets together with Earth Office is pretty good. Grass is pretty good with Ecoline. You can think about Inventors Guild. Industrial Center is actually quite nice. It's a lot of cards already. Problem is we are placing down a lot of oceans with the prelude. If we pick up flooding, that's a third one. If we place the city down here, that's a fourth one. And we have no cards that benefit from that. So we have no algae, nitrophilic moss, kelp farming on hand. If any of our enemies have that on hand, then that's pretty dangerous. So I wouldn't necessarily go with flooding, even though it's a good terraforming event for Ecoline. I'm not sure about the Inventor skill right now. We are last. If we put down two oceans here and here with our prelude, we have 7 plants already. So we can put down the city here if we want, and then convert next to it. And also we can place down industrial center next to our city. And therefore we can really easily get Polar Explorer. We don't even have to place the city down here. We can do like the city here, greenery here, and industrial center here, or like greenery here, so that the city has more spots around it for future greeneries. But again, the only problem is we place down the oceans here and the city down here, and then we don't get the nice ocean rebates. So I'm thinking about whether that's worth it. Do we really want the totally safe milestone? Problem is, if you're going ground game on Hellas and you're not getting Polar Explorer, there's really no other milestone you can get. We will have no chance on Rim Settler, we will have no chance on Energizer. Tactician maybe, that's anyone's to grab, and Diversifier, I don't think so. So it's either Polar Explorer or nothing. And that's a bit sad. We really need, if we do this down here, then we really need a tile to teleport over here. So we place down our initial city somewhere down here, get a greenery and our industrial center down, and then we get something in the next draft like a nuke zone that we can place up here so that we can ocean walk with our greeneries. That would be the optimal scenario, but we can't guarantee that. So you have to think about that. What do you want? Do you want the milestone or do you want the ocean rebates? But I think the hand picks itself. The only thing I'm not sure about is Inventor skill. Card draw is always nice, but your cash stripped with Ecoline. But on the other hand, we really don't have anything to play. In the first gen, we only want to play Industrial Center and then maybe Earth Office into Pets. But that's basically it. We can deny Earth Office into Pets and just play Inventor skill to draw cards. And yeah, I think that's it. I think there's really no reason to pick Robinson here. If you look at the starting hand, there are no power-hungry cards here. So the only thing you can do with Robinson is increase your steel and titanium prod, and that's basically it. So I think you have to go Ecoline here. So it's definitely a better pick. And the preludes are really good for Ecoline. So yeah, that's the second hand. And let's get to the last one. Alright, the last hand is a decision between Credicor and UNMI. Credicor is obviously stronger, so let's go with that for now. Also, we're playing on Elysium this time. I really like Great Aquifer. It's not that great in Elysium. It's really only good if you want to go for a ground game, because you have the 2 spots for 2 plants, but you don't have a spot for 2 titanium, 2 cards, or 2 steel, which you get on Tharsis. So oceans were nerfed a lot, but the 2 plants are still there. And maybe we can high roll with ecology experts. Let's see. No, we can't. That's pretty sad. You could be ballsy and combine ecology experts with biolab, but that would be silly. Let's not do that. I think I haven't seen the rest of the hand too long, so let's go with smelting plant and great aquifer for now, and let's look at the hand. It's not an amazing starting hand, I gotta admit. You have sponsors and acquired company. That's quite nice development. We have Comet, which is just a generally good card. We have here some power prod, which is interesting. We could go for a pretty heavy power prod with fuel generators, geothermal power, lunar beam. What are the milestones here? Specialist, ecologist. It's really sad that we don't get a single plant card, because ecology experts would be really good for ecologist. Yeah, not too amazing, I have to admit. Maybe instead of going for smelting plant, because you really don't need more starting capital as Credicor, we go for biolab and just hope to draw a few good cards. And definitely pick up this, sponsors, Sabo, because why not? Geothermal power, acquired company. We can think about going for lunar beam, because then we can play geothermal power and lunar beam and have basically 6 heat prod, which is quite nice. Maybe we can combo this with Comet to get more heat prod as bonus steps here on the heat track. That's basically it. I don't think there's... I mean, you could go for UNMI. You have a terraforming event on your starting hand. I'd still go for biolab probably. You could do something like this. Or maybe we go smelting plant, great aquifer. Do Comet sponsors, geothermal power, acquired company, lunar beam. Because then we have 10 starting capital more from smelting plant. We can use our action for free because we terraformed already with our preludes. In the second gen we can do Comet to be able to do our action. And in the first gen we just try to get as much development and heat prod down as we can, so that we can use the heat prod like every gen or every other gen to be able to do our action and the development, because it's nice. So that would certainly be a line, and in that case I wouldn't pick up Sabo because you're cash stripped with the UNMI. And yeah, that's basically it. Which line is better? I mean, Credicor is pretty boring, but probably better than UNMI. But I think the UNMI line is just a bit more fun. Playing UNMI is also always pretty rewarding if you can, if you are able to do your action every other gen or every gen. That's pretty nice. But yeah, I think the starting hand is not too great. You have some good development, but that's it. No card draw, no potential for a good ground game or a fast rush. You just have some heat prod and that's it. And I think you could use the starting hand to play either Credicor or UNMI. I don't really know which one's better, but yeah. That's basically it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely tell me in the comments what you would have decided differently. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.